Hello Factorio people, welcome back to the broadcast from Space Age, semi-streamlined playthrough Let's Play of Factorio Space Age. Hope you're all doing alright. You once again catch me in the middle of the house move. I have been playing Factorio, but it's all been a bit bitty, you know? But I've done some stuff, I've made some saves, so I'll show you what I've been up to this week. If you want to do the old like, comment, subscribe for me, that would be great. And without much further ado, we'll jump straight into it. But first a word. No, I'm joking, I'm joking. Can you imagine? This is where we left things off. Mostly. Very large, not very large, kind of large Prometheum asteroid ship. Which I did some tweaking to in between the end of the last episode and the start of this one. A few small things. I got the belt weaving under control. I have overdone it though. 40,000 was way too many. If you ask it for about 26,000, then by the time it hits 26,000, stops and turns around, it will be just about full. So we do run into a bit of a problem here. I'm just clearing out anything and everything at the moment from the belts, just so that we don't completely deadlock the system. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of a lot, isn't it? I guess. Kind of. So yeah, cool. Blueprint for that in the blueprint book. Consolidating these down now into just chunks of episodes, just because, you know, what we're designing is a bit esoteric now. You know, like the reason I did these blueprint books was mostly so that when I did a news save, I would have these rather than having to rebuild them every single time. You know, sort of delineated into sections. Whereas now, what we're sort of designing at the moment is very sort of like not one size fits all. The opposite of that, one size fits one. The early blueprints were one size fits all. These are very much one size fits one. But I will use these blueprints again anyway. Right, so we're back on Gleber. Oh god, it's another Gleber episode. You may remember a few episodes ago we set up some tool belt upcycling because we wanted a small stash of legendary carbon fiber, and tool belt upcycling was the best way we could think to do that. Probably is the best way to do it generally. I mean, unless you want to upcycle quantum processors, but because we want stack inserters. We want a small but decent supply of legendary stack inserters, because those will go super hard. There are some situations where a legendary bulk inserter is just not cutting it compared to a legendary stack inserter. There's 16 stack size versus a 12 stack size, but also it's a 16 stack size, but it only takes 4 ticks to unload onto the belt, right? Whereas a editor check. One. Oh, it's every 2 ticks it goes on. Not even every 2 ticks. Oh, it's probably because the belt is being loaded on this side as well. Get rid of you. Right, try again. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. That was weird. Belt's empty, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's because the belt was still full from before, I think. 1, 2. Whereas your bulk inserters can do the same thing, but they have to do it. They can't stack onto the belt, right? So they're only doing it 1 tick at a time, even though they can hold 12 things in their arm. God. Oh, I can't be bothered to work this out right now, but yeah, basically that's the system. That's the system, right, okay. So what we're going to do is, in lieu of... exit editor mode. In lieu of doing any sort of proper upcycling of jelly nuts or anything like that, we're just going to recycle. We're just going to upcycle some jelly. We've got so much jelly, so much of it just gets burned. We kind of overcooked the fruit thing. Kind of. I have doubled this up. I did experiment with recycling the actual fruit, the jelly nuts, and it does work. It is helpful. The only problem with it is you kind of need to process some of them anyway to get all the seeds out. Because if you just upcycle the nuts and then process the legendary ones, you hardly get any seeds back. So for now, in the short term, when literally all we want is a small supply of legendary jelly, and not even, you know, not even very quickly, just keep it ticking over, we'll do a small recycler loop. But I do have some legendary stack inserts here. I did some manually just to start with. So that will be helpful. We want to use those to speed this process up, because Gleb Science is fine, but ironically it could be better. It's one of the first ones that we upscaled, but it's still not, you know, 2,000 per minute. We're past those numbers now. So we do actually need to have another look at Gleber, if you can believe it. So let's skip forward a bit and see what happens. Okay, it occurs to me that it's better to do modules of it, I think, like this. The sheer amount of nutrients that need to go through these machines to keep them running is so high, you're better off using direct insertion rather than belts. And there's a whole bunch of absolutely cursed belt weaving going on here. Let me see if I can do my best to draw roughly what's going on to help you understand. So the eggs come through here and come out again here to go into the lab. The nutrients go onto the belt, and then... Oh no, the nutrients go just literally like this, and then the rest of it is direct inserted into the machines. And then these splitters are for any spoilage that enters the belts. So say this outputs some spoilage, this just goes along the top here, goes down to be burnt, and that's also where any spoiled bioflux goes as well. So I hope it's not that complicated, to be honest with you. I just wanted to make use of the screen drawing tool because I very rarely use it. And it works very well. Not sure why this is a stack inserter, to be honest with you. This seems a bit overkill. But it is what it is. So one of these modules will make way more nutrients than you need, Slightly more eggs than you need, but also 841 Gleben science per minute, which is good, Not much more than what we had. But if we upgrade these to legendary biolabs, which we can do soon-ish, because we need to... Where are they? Yeah, we can do this quite easily. We've got legendary bioflux on supply. We just need to do some grinding for a legendary pentapod egg. We can get these up to crafting speed 5 instead of crafting speed 2, so that will just improve everything by 2.5 times the speed, which would be great. I am using logistics bots to bring all these over. I'm not a huge fan of it. Maybe I should have put them on a belt, but the benefit of putting them in this chest and just leaving them is it looks nicer, it looks cleaner. I guess there's not that much difference, I suppose. Maybe I should have made the effort to squeeze in another belt here. I could have done belt weaving, I suppose. I suppose I could have outputted this with like a Blue Express Underground and brought it out like that and then consolidated it down. Because as we found out on Aquilo from before, remember that it's... Aquilo's a special case because the robots don't like to travel very far for very long. So you really want the chests to be close to the rockets. On Gleber it's not so much of a problem. So we're getting a lot more Gleben science now. I think what would also behoove us would be to have a second shuttle of this class, just moving the Gleben science, because we want it moving very quickly, right? For every second that passes, the Gleben science is just worth less and less. And I'd rather not make much more science to try and counteract that. I'd rather just have it shipped quickly. Ignore the fact that I am then like bringing it in on a train, like the entire length of the base. That is on the to-do list. That is on the. It's not on this to-do list, but it's on a to-do list. Don't worry, this is an old to-do list. I should have deleted this before I started this episode, but there we go. How's the park doing? The park's nice. Come and chill out in the park. There's a place in the UK, a resort, like a Centre Parks, kind of, but not quite. If you know what Centre Parks is, doesn't really help. And it's called, literally, Sandy Balls. You can Google that if you like. You don't have to be too careful about it, but it will come up and it will be like, why are you called this? And they'll be like, oh, wait, it was called this a long time ago and we just don't want to change it, really. I know you think it's funny and immature, but we're a serious business. So there we go. Welcome to Sandy Balls. That's what I think to myself every time I look at what? An egg just hatched. The eggs will hatch every now and then. That'll happen. Oh, that's because I realised this a bit later. They're overflowing into this splitter, right? They're actually stopping here. So I realised this a bit later. It's just a very simple case of doing this. There we go. Then the eggs get pulled from the end of the belt. Okay, let's move on, shall we? Jelly upcycling. This is fine. This produces some jelly. 2 a minute. You only need 10 to make a legendary stack inserter, so that's 1 every 5 minutes. We don't really need that many of these. Every now and then there'll be a special case where we need them just to move something. The rockets are so loud! To move something so absurdly quickly. There's very few cases where I need that, but obviously I do need them at some point. Yeah. Eggs have hatched. Did you see that? Some eggs have hatched down here. I was making more biochambers. Oh no. Because it's in peaceful mode, they're not doing anything. They've not been aggroed yet. But they also decay. Their health just goes down, so it is what it is, I suppose. They live a short and uneventful life. Remind you of anybody. Anyway, the iron asteroid farming ship broke in the same way that the calcite one did. So we need to fix the calcite one. As I say, I don't really understand why and how this breaks. It does break, and you can fix it manually by just adding a bit of space to the belt every now and then. And then this also clogs, but so you kind of have to manually unclog. It's awful. It's a pain. We need to fix it. Really. Such a shame you can't put like asteroids in boxes or anything in boxes in space. I understand why. It's a nice little gameplay limitation. But we can fix this. We can fix this in the same way that this one was quote unquote fixed. So that's not too bad. That's not too bad. So yeah, so there are now 2 Gleben shuttles. This one's just beginning its... oh no, it's already been. I was going to say it's beginning its startup procedure, but it is in fact already been. It is working well. What's not working well, though, of course, is iron on Vulcanus. So we should definitely fix that. That's a simple case of just copying and pasting this over. And so we'll do that, and then I cannot remember for the life of me what I did after that. But we'll soon find out. Why build 1 when you can build 2 for twice the price? Yeah, that's right. So this is the second Kami class ship. These are names of cats, right? Luna is our current cat. We rescued her about a year ago from a shelter. Kami was our old cat. She passed away about 18 months ago. Cancer, horrible. But you know, she was 15, so yeah, pretty good. Sad, but it is what it is. And as such, rather than doing what every Factorio YouTuber seems to do and name their ships after ships from The Expanse, there are other shows, folks. You do know that. My ship's classes are named after cats that I have known in my life. So this is the Kami. I've decided the Prometheum ships will be the Kami class ships. This design works well. I'm happy enough to just double it up and send it on its way. A few little things that have changed. Yes, I made sure that I could get the throughput of the Prometheum asteroids in. Did have to do a bit of cursed belt weaving here to jettison the any eggs that go. So the eggs get sent off when we're not stopped at Navis. If you're heading to a location, it has a value of 1. If you're going from the location, it has a value of 2. If you're stopped at that location, it is considered to be both going from and going to it. So these add up and they have a value of 3. So if you have Navis equals 3, if you have Navis not equals 3, that will be every situation in which you are not directly orbiting Navis. And you can do that for obviously any planet, anything. So that's not hugely intuitive, but once I worked that out, it was very, very, very helpful. There's a few things down here. I tweaked these a lot. I think this is right. Let me take the actual blueprint of the ship and paste it over this just to make sure that it is 100% correct. What did it add? Oh, some solar panels and this assembly machine, which are completely irrelevant. Yeah, so this is the speed limiter thing. There's probably a better way to do this. The first chunk here, let me get the drawing tool out here. The first chunk here, this section, could have picked a better colour, couldn't I? This first section is if you're going to the shattered planet or from the shattered planet. So if the shattered planet is anywhere in the itinerary, solar system edge to shattered planet or shattered planet to solar system edge, limit your speed to 100. And then this second one is if you're going to or from the solar system edge, but also not, because you can go faster. I want to go faster from Aquilo to the solar system edge, but I don't want to go faster from turning around at the shattered planet back to the solar system edge. I only want to go fast in that Aquilo to solar system edge section. So if solar system edge is in the itinerary, you know, if it's more than 0, but also shattered planet is not in the itinerary, shattered planet equals 0, then the speed can be 150 instead of 100. And then if it's none of these, then it's just capped at its whatever max speed is based on the clock on the pump, which is non-existent, so it just goes. It just goes. I suppose this would also work if you did Aquilo is greater than 0, now that I think about it, but this just, you know, reminds me. And the other thing you can do is you can be more sensible than this. You can build this decider combinator array somewhere else and then bring the signal to each one via radar, rather than... I've still got the radar here, but like stuff like this, right, like the conditions for throwing asteroids over the edge, you build this logic like somewhere centralized and send the output signals of those to a radar that then connects directly to the thing. So there's a very minor thing, but I can't be bothered to change it now. Yeah, okay. So the Prometheus ship is very good, as I say. About 25,000. About 25,000 Prometheum asteroid chunks will get this half filled, so then when you turn around, it's just about full by the end. And this has the second layer of belt weaving in it, so Yeah. Cool. Right. I want to increase egg production because we don't get that many eggs. We get a bunch. We get a bunch. This include. I hate the way that this includes the recyclers in this. Let me just very quickly just do this. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, quality, why you like this? Oh my god. There we go. Alright, let's get rid of those just for this example. Okay, so this will... Oh, they're still there, of course. Right, have you gone? Are you bloody finished? 51.25 a second, because there's a whole range of different qualities here. These are all normal ones. I spent a bit of time grinding higher quality ones to start with, but realised it wasn't really worth the effort. I would like more eggs. And I am denied about the best way to do this, whether I should just redesign the whole system, but legendary captive biter spawners are well within our grasp, really. We're farming these capture bot rockets on Gleba. Uranium, legendary uranium is easily done because we've been stockpiling or upcycling the excess uranium from making the fuel, stockpiling it in boxes, so we can Covarex this with productivity modules to... Oh, this is a bit broken, isn't it? There's 94 more in there. I don't think I ever noticed that. Stack inserter, I suppose. Anyway. So we can make legendary nests. Legendary nests are 2.5 times faster. Yes, you could just make 2.5 times more nests, but you would need 2.5 times more bioflux. The important thing to realise with this is the crafting speed goes up, but the max consumption does not change. So you can make you can make 2.5 times more eggs for the same amount of bioflux, and that will also be very helpful because, of course, we want eggs to go up as quick as you like, really, to get the... Is there a reason you're not going anywhere? Oh, it's because you're actually waiting on some more eggs before you leave. Okay. I wasn't happy with how fast eggs were making their way up to the ship, basically. So I thought we could grind out some legendary captive biter spawners by repurposing the eggs from the quality modules, the productivity modules rather, because we've got loads of legendary productivity modules now. We can wait on this for a bit, so we'll just remove this and build some legendary labs. And yeah, I started that and then I made a save, so I'll show you. Okay, so I have selected every single lab to be upgraded to legendary when one enters the system. I have turned off biter eggs from the modules, but I have added some uranium from the system, some capture bot rockets from Gleba, and we're just basically waiting on legendary biter eggs to come out in the same way that we have been for this. So it's going to take a little while, but not that long, not ages and ages. And this will get faster and faster as we go, of course, so this is 21 normal ones, 39 uncommon ones, you know. We're going to basically double the speed, I would say, based on this arrangement of biter nests. We'll double the speed of eggs, which will double the speed of legendary eggs, you know. And then here I had a humongous stockpile of old productivity modules from before the quality ones came into play. So I thought I'd just give myself a little chance at getting some legendary biter eggs like this, because if you upcycle productivity modules into legendary ones and you put a legendary one in the recycler, you do get the biter egg out, but only, of course, if the roll gives you the opportunity. So You have to upside. It's not worth the effort. Basically, I thought it would be smart. I thought this might also be a secondary source of legendary biter eggs. Honestly, not worth the time. Just not worth the time. It's taking eggs away from this. Not loads, but you know, it's taking enough eggs away from the system that could have been upcycled into a legendary egg anyway. It's just the juice ain't worth the squeeze, folks. So I don't recommend doing this. I do not recommend doing this. We're basically just going to leave this ticking over. It's already made 5. Can't prop module it, unfortunately. It's already made 5, and the more we make, the more we'll then make in turn. It will just go faster and faster and faster and faster. So, like, even just the addition of those 2. Yeah, there's that bit there. You see? And that was just a change of 2. If I was smart, I would have only upgraded the common ones first, and then upgraded the uncommon ones, and so on and so forth, just to get the absolute max out of it. But you know what? Come on, give me a break. Give me a break. Okay, so the perfect thing to do now that we've got this sorted is go back to Gleba and, well, I say sorted, while we wait for this to become sorted, we'll go back to Gleba and grind out some other eggs. It's the egg grinding episode. Can I offer you an egg in this trying time? A nice egg in this trying time? It's one of those, ding? What's dinging? Oh, God, yeah, I put a little signal on the train refueling thing. So whenever a train goes to refuel, I get a little ding just to remind me that that is in fact working. It scared the life out of me. That's ugly. What was I saying? Oh yeah, can I offer you an egg in this trying time is not the correct quote. It's can I offer you a nice egg in this trying time? And I think it's one of those quotes that's more popular in the wrong version than it is in the right version, like, no, Luke, I am your father. He never says it like that. He never says that. He says, no, I am your father. He never says Luke. And, what's the other one? My eyes, the goggles, do nothing. That's also incorrect. No, is that correct? In my eyes, the goggles, they do nothing is incorrect. I can't even remember that one. My eyes, the goggles, they do nothing. I think it's that way around. That's The Simpsons, by the way. If you don't know, I just assume everybody knows every single quote from The Simpsons like I do. Right, anyway, that was enough of a tangent. Let's crack on. Do you remember this? Do you remember this from ages ago? I left it here. This is the Gleba egg upcycling setup. Some eggs on normal to feed some eggs on quality, and then some recyclers. I got very lucky this time. It hardly took any time at all. You know what? Is it that one? Machines and vehicles? Because it's not going to get any better. Yes, it's not going to get any better here, folks. For good reason. Right. Thankfully, it didn't take me very long to get a legendary egg this time. And then once you got one legendary egg, I just fed it into another biolab to farm eggs with some legendary bioflux or normal bioflux, whatever I did. And I got a whole bunch of legendary biochambers, and I changed the egg one and the science pack one to legendary. Did not need to change the middle one. The middle one was already making way more nutrients than is necessary, given all of these modules. So we now have 5. So it's 4. 4. There are 4 biolabs. The thing is, I actually thought there were 5 biolabs. Star Trek Next Generation. What on earth am I talking about? 4 legendary biolabs, which are now making 8,400 Gleben science per minute. I think we should probably put a 5th one down at some point, but it is what it is. We need to work out a way. There's not enough rockets, is it? Let's be honest. It's not enough rockets. It wasn't enough agricultural towers, so I added another 2 agricultural towers here. I think I added these 2 when I was experimenting with the jelly upcycling, and I just left them because they're neat. But it's mostly not enough rockets. I've got this system going on here which sort of... If there's ever more than 100,000 agricultural science packs in the system, these inserters pick the most spoiled ones and just get rid of them. So that sort of culls the worst of the science packs out of the system. I'm not really sure if this works properly because it sort of adds the science packs back in and then aggregates the freshness of the stack. So I don't really know if this is a good idea, but I guess if we could slow the game down again and see exactly what happens. Should have done this before. So like, just wait for the inserter to swing and pick some up. Yeah, there, alright. So then one of these stacks should be 195 now. Okay, no, it's not. Oh, I can't see it happening. Because the bots are bringing them too quickly. But then the bots add the new ones into the system, and it like I don't know if this is working. I honestly don't know if this is a good idea or not. But I wanted to try something. It became quickly apparent that we need more rockets for this. I'd like to have the shuttles asking for more than 12,000 at a time. That's not really that much, considering how much we make on Gleba now. You know, the fact that it's not that far. We need to upscale Gleba, basically. Basically, we just need to give Gleba a little bit more oomph. Just a touch more oomph. How are legendary eggs going back on Nowvis? 61 to go. And what does that actually mean in terms of the number of egg? You can see the steady increase over the last 2 hours, hour and a half, 2 hours. From 3.1 thousand a minute, which we've been doing consistently ever since we last doubled up the eggs, to now already 3.7 thousand a minute. So a pretty modest increase there. What's that? 20% increase in the last 2 hours? That's pretty good. And that will of course only increase the speed at which we are getting more of these. So let's do a bit of work on Gleba. Rocket throughput is fast becoming the bane of my life. Which is why I'm kind of looking forward to... I'm going to do, after all the move is done, I'm going to start doing live streams instead of this broadcasts thing. Or maybe I'll do both. Maybe I'll do live streams and broadcasts for people who can't watch / don't want to watch the streams. But I'm going to do the everything on Nowvis mod, which turns Nowvis into distinct biomes. So then you don't have to worry about space logistics or anything. You still need to do a space platform. You can still go to the solar system edge and the shattered planet to get Promethium chunks. But you can do like a very large mega base on Nowvis rather than having to worry about interstellar logistics, which is fine. I do like it, but it is very much the bottleneck. Like, it is causing a lot of problems basically everywhere. And maybe there's a better way to solve it that I'm just not seeing. It probably involves like using dedicated rocket silos rather than on logistics requests. Just having a rocket silo at the very end of the production line like a chest, but then you kind of still have to bring in the rocket components anyway, so yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. Anyway, that's enough of a tangent. Let's scale Gleba up ever so slightly, shall we? Alright, I've put some legendary biolabs down in some more choice places. You remember a little while ago when we discovered that the beacon distribution efficiency is global, not just from each set of beacons. That was something that I didn't realise, although it's kind of obvious in hindsight. So like this actually slows the machine down because it causes both of these beacons to have their effects, whatever the chart is. 250% with one, 352% with two, but then that means that just the one with the speed beacon in is only 182%. So you kind of, yeah. So now that we don't really necessarily have to worry about nutrient efficiency and power efficiency especially, not that these take any power at all, using the efficiency modules just affects the nutrients, but we don't really care about that. We can scale up fruit and stuff, hopefully get the jelly, legendary jelly going. We've got 52 of these, but I have used a bunch already with this, and like here for example, outputting the legendary jelly. Sorry, legendarily outputting the jelly. And 16 rocket silos. 16 rocket silos. Just to get these cooking, you know? Up to the capacity of each one to 24,000 agricultural science and 16 rocket silos. That should do. That should do. So we can at least, I mean obviously agricultural science throughput on Navis is still not 100%, because we've still got the problem of we've got to move the cargo bay close to the labs, but that's such a huge job that I really did not want to be faffing around with that right now. It should be okay, right? All I'll do is I'll move the cargo bay close to the labs. I'll work out a good way to unload the cargo bay, like directly onto belts, maybe? Maybe not. Maybe that's not a good idea. But at least closer, you know, like at the very least, if I have exactly this closer, you know, this will easily fit inside a grid section, easily. If I just have that closer, we will gain a couple of minutes on the spoil time of this science, probably. I also have put these in, I showed my partner this, and obviously the first thing she said was, when she walked in, why aren't they in colour, why aren't they in rainbow order? And I was like, oh my god, you're totally right, aren't you? Why aren't they in colour order? So I've copy and pasted the stations here to maybe one day, you know, just do this, but I daren't do it, basically. I daren't do it because it will be a disaster. I'd have to change the Gleben one, because the Gleben science also has the stack inserter thing to only pick out things with full stacks, but that's easily fixed. Right. And then, yeah, just have a train that brings literally everything else. So, like, I guess what I would do is I would put this in its own logistics network in a grid section. And then in the same way that I have trash unrequested here, I would do that, but I would just have a suite of storage chests, legendary storage chests, by a station, and then that train would just run from that station until cargo full / 5 seconds of inactivity, bring it over to the mall, unload it into purple chests, and then come back. So then that way everything that is requested into... Oh no, because I would still need to bring over the bioflux and the prod modules and stuff. I can do it. I would work out some way to do it. It's fine. It's not a problem. Filter inserters into something. So yeah. Anyway, we need to solve this problem. This is hideous. This is just draining minutes off of the science pack for no reason at all. So they're arriving at like 74% freshness for the most part. This one is hovering around Nalvis. That's the Folgora one. This one is hovering around Nalvis, and they're on 73%. So yeah, by the time they actually get down there and into the biolabs, they're only worth about 65% of what they're worth on Gleba. I'm also experimenting with turning them off once the amount of science hits a certain point. I don't think this will cause a problem. Some eggs may hatch. But the eggs will still cycle through the system like this. And also, because they spoil, it shouldn't really ever be down for that long. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Just to, you know, just to give the robots a bit of a break, really, more than anything. So, obviously, a ship has just arrived. These always do this. I don't know if this is some weird bug or just a coincidence with the number of roboports I have or something, but they always get to like 980 and then take a few extra seconds just to get that last one through. And I think it's something to do with like 1,000 robots suddenly. Well, it's not 1,000 robots, is it? What's the cargo capacity of a robot these days? +3, so 4. Yeah. So 250 robots. Like 3 or 4 of them probably just need to have their battery charged before they then go to the rocket. So maybe if I upgraded the entire suite of robots to legendary logistics robots, it would be fine. Or maybe just added 250 legendary logistics robots. I don't know quite how it works, but it happens all the time. You know? It's happening again. Look, it's just it does the first like 800 so quickly, and then the dregs of the robots just can't quite. Now it's finished, of course. So yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Probably. Yeah. Cool. How's Stack Inserters doing? This has made 80 since we turned this on a little while ago, so that's alright. That's okay. Right! That's about everything I got around to doing. It has been very good. It has caused average science over the last... You can see this is trending upwards, right? You can see that over the last 10 hours. Maybe not so much over the last 50 hours, but I think I spent a long time here just grinding out between mining productivity, because we're on mining productivity 167 and levels of research productivity. This has been the first time in a little while I've actually grinding out Gleben science pack stuff. I want stronger explosives to start one-shotting the asteroids with yellow rockets, because we are almost there, I think. There goes one. Couldn't see. One-shotting medium asteroids with... Is there just a way to work this out? 200 plus... This is also very loud. 200 plus 1,560 explosion damage, and a medium asteroid has... or a big asteroid has... 2,000 health, and 10% of that is explosion damage resistance. So, yeah, a couple more levels of this, maybe? I mean, a couple more levels at this point is, you know, 8.1 million science, but... we can do that, it's fine. It's fine. I also heard a rumour, I don't know if this is true, I don't even know how to test this, that the order of the target priorities actually makes a huge difference. Now, I didn't think it was that complicated, right? I didn't think it actually was a hierarchy of... I thought it was just shoot at these, ignore everything else. But I heard that if you, like, put this one first, it will shoot this one first. It will aim... If it has the choice between these two, it will pick this one as a priority. I thought, to save on processing power, that it would just only look for these and then just shoot the first one of these that it saw. I didn't think it iterated through the entire list. So, like, I heard some advice that it was better to stagger your... you know, not have them all exactly the same. That can't be true, can it? If you've got any ideas on that, please let me know. I don't... I don't see how it can be, or how I would even test it. I'm not quite sure what that was supposed to achieve. I guess what I could do is I could... Does that not work? Can you not do that? Entities. So this one is targeting huge metallic asteroids first. We'll make this one target huge carbonic asteroids first, this one huge oxide asteroids first, and this one promethium asteroids first. Get rid of the other ones, so there's just these 4 at the front. And then we'll just see which one manages to shoot this. Is this a fair test? Are they all on? They're not all ready to go. Let's just wait for them to all be off cooldown. Which I would like to do by removing these, but I don't... I'm not sure how I can do that if the entities thing is not going to count this. Get rid of it. How do I get rid of these? How do I get rid of these in editor mode? Whatever. So this one has promethium asteroid chunks at its first, and they're all in range. Okay, that obviously didn't prove much, as I say, because we're out. This one just doesn't seem to care at all. Alright. I'm going to call that myth busted on that one. This one had plenty of time, I feel like. Yeah, that's what happens if they get too close. I'm going to call that one myth busted, but I'm willing to be proven wrong. I'm willing to be proven wrong on that one. Right, okay, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please let me know with a like or a comment, and if you want to see more Factorio, be sure to subscribe. Yeah, as I say, once the move is all done with, I'm going to start doing some live streams, I think. Try and grow the channel a little bit with just some live streams. Probably good idea to keep the broadcasts format going. Nilas used to do it like this, didn't he? He used to do stuff on the stream with the community and then consolidate that down into episodes. Here's what I did, here's what we did on stream. Except he would sort of pretend like he was doing it live. He would just take the blueprint that he had, put it up on his second monitor and build it on his first monitor as if he was designing it live, which I understand and respect, you know, game respect game. But there's a reason why I don't do that, because you don't want to see me try and live design something. I know you do, because that's why you're going to watch the streams, but if I did it on this, it would be one of those Let's Plays where it's like, welcome to episode 596 of Let's Play Factorio. Today we might leave Nauvis. I'm not sure. You know, it would be like that. Whereas this is at least 30 episodes, half an hour, a couple of times a week. And we're in Megabase territory, you know? It's sort of like it's like the middle ground, really, isn't it? Between a Let's Play and a Doshington, how hard is it to beat Factorio with pegs in your eyes kind of video. Alright. That was the post-episode spiel that I've sort of integrated into the format, you know. Whenever I start doing the calls to action at the end, some people, they turn off, but no, this is the little secret bit for me and you at the end, you know, the little secret extra content at the end that I know we enjoy so much. We enjoy it so much here. Okay. Yeah. Take it easy. Speak to you later. Bye.